Hey everybody, I figured that while I had the camera out and I was doing some lessons, I might as well show you how to play one of these guys. Probably everybody's first or second instrument, because every time you go to a jam or a festival and everybody says, there's no bass player, we need a bass player. Hey, you're playing bass now. And pick that up. It's pretty easy, I'll show you. And somebody gives you a 5-minute lesson and you're supposed to follow the guitar player, and that's pretty much it. But there's a couple basic tricks to playing one of these things. It's not difficult, however, it does take a long time to master. And I'm certainly no master, but I can show you what I do know, okay? So, first of all, whenever you pick up a bass, especially if it's somebody else's, because chances are there's only a few people that have one of these, because they're big, they're bulky, they're very fragile, and you got to take care of them, okay? The older they get, and usually the worse they end up looking, but they usually sound pretty good as long as they're solid, okay? So the first thing you want to do, well, make sure it's in tune for one, okay? But then you want to figure out where it's going to intonate properly. This one right here has had ivory buttons, or I'm sorry, pearl buttons inlaid into the fretboard. And you got to make sure it's going to be in the right place, because the difference between one finger width, you might not be able to hear it on camera, but I guarantee you can hear it whenever you're playing, okay? And a lot of people are going to use you as your guideline, so as long as you're in tune, a lot of people tune to a bass player. So the first thing I'm going to do anytime I pick up someone's bass is I'm going to figure out where it's going to sound properly for intonation. Usually I want to figure out where C is. This one likes to be a little bit flat off the pearl. It's okay. Okay, so we're a little bit flat. It's fine. It doesn't really hurt anything. As long as you know what you're doing with that particular instrument, you'll be okay. All right. Next thing is, well, pretty much as long as you stick with your highs and lows or your ones and fives, you'll be perfectly fine. Nobody likes a show-offy bass player, especially one that makes mistakes, okay? Your job is to know the tunes and to be able to play them on time and to be able to play them on tempo. And that's pretty much all there is to it, okay? As long as you're figuring out exactly where your chord changes are and you know exactly how to play ones and fives over that, that's all anybody truly asks of a bass player. Anything else is extra, okay? So G, your first two strings, there's a G, there's a D, so there's your 1 and there's your 5. Now I'm dampening the strings a little bit just to put a little bit of silence or a little bit of absence in between those notes, because if you don't, they kind of run together. And yeah, you can hear where the downbeat is. You can hear where it's popping off my finger, but it sounds much, much better just to kill those strings. So this takes a little bit of practice to figure out. All I'm doing is I'm just killing the note just by touching it with my left hand. I'm not even fretting it on the fingerboard at all. Okay? In the middle, you got D. So I'm going to play second and third. There's your 1, your D. There's your A for your 5. Pretty simple. Okay, so if you just want to play a G and a D tune, you don't have to do anything with your left hand. Just maybe kill the note once in a while. And that's it. Okay? Next thing that they'll probably ask you to do if you're going to play a C. So if you're going to play a C chord, like a typical 1-4-5 tune, darling, you often said you loved me, but you've gone on before. You don't know, dear, how I miss you, but we can't be darlings anymore. Okay, so C is going to be off your A, off your third string, and you want to be what would be the third fret on any other instrument, but right here on my fingerboard, you might have to find it, okay? So on this one, you you saw me check real quick, it's just a little bit short of these pearls. There it is. And then I just have to go straight across, okay? Now, a lot of people and a lot of good bass players will use their first finger here because they're looking for a stretch. I can't do that. I'm just pretty much a clamp it down and hold on. So I usually use my strong fingers, my second and my third fingers. And depending on how long I've been playing that night or how tired my forearm is getting or how long we have to play in like B flat or B, then I will definitely be switching between the fingers, just trying to make my forearm last another few minutes. So typically I like to work off my ring finger and just use them both together, and that's my clamp. And then just to make sure that I'm deadening those strings, because if I hold it down, it's going to ring. So if I'm playing C, or even worse, maybe you're not getting it down all the way and it starts to buzz or snap off the fingerboard, then you definitely don't want to do that either. So what I'll do is I'll play it and then just lift the string off just a little bit, and that kills it nice. Okay, that's pretty well it. Of course, you can find E, you can find F, you can find, there's A is all the way down in third and fourth. So there's an A for your 1, there's an E for your 5. Or if you want to work with your left hand, you can play the higher A, which would be first string, and then your second string straight across. Switch to an E. Sure, nothing wrong with that at all. Okay, so G, A, here would be a B, low flat, there's a B, C, right there, that one's actually on the pearl, so I got to remember that for this bass. There we go. Okay, it's very simple, just play 1s and 5s, and it takes a little bit of practice, but once you get it, it only takes a few minutes to figure it out, but it'll take you a long time to get it really, really good.